isn't enough, no, have a little Coke and a smile. And place your vote for this list of candidates. We call it the White Slate. And I'm sorry I don't have a movie review today because, like I said, I went out to this Japanese restaurant last night, and when I got home, instead of watching a movie, I did a bunch of podcasting, listening to the podcasters, and I had a great time with it. So I'm going to skip the movie review and get right to the What Up Doe closing commentary. NASCAR star Tony Stewart, I'm going to turn the music down just a bit if you don't mind. NASCAR star Tony Stewart was cleared yesterday. He will not face criminal charges in the death of Kevin Ward Jr. because Ward was high on weed at the time of his death. The Ontario County Grand Jury in New York decided not to charge Stewart after reviewing evidence from several accident reconstruction experts. On the night of his death, Ward Jr. had gotten out of his car and was aggressively marching towards Stewart's car. And then he was struck by Stewart and killed. Drug tests on the body produced proof Ward was under the influence of marijuana. There was talk that Stewart was angry with Ward Jr. and may have intentionally veered his car into him, but apparently the grand jury feels it was nothing more than a freak accident. The family isn't buying it and plans to appeal, and I don't think this is over, and it shouldn't be. I personally thought it looked suspicious. I thought he did veer the vehicle towards the man and should not be walking away free and clear. Ward was wrong for jumping out of his car on a racetrack. Yeah. So a lot of people don't feel sorry for him in that regard, but if you see this video, it's ugly, and I feel bad for him. I feel bad for his family. It was sad. It was hard to watch, and personally, I'm not buying that he didn't. I don't think he meant to kill the guy, but I do think he took the challenge of, oh, you want to take on my car with your body? Let's rock and roll. And I believe he did intend to make contact to him, but I don't think he intended to kill the guy. But it was a very ugly videotape. On a side note, I am real tired of he had weed in his system as an excuse for getting away with murder. I'm sorry. That's just not cutting it for me. You know when it started? You know when the weed in the system excuse started working? When Trayvon Martin was killed. The Trayvon Martin case. That was Zimmerman's defense. Even though Zimmerman was not tested. They did not drug test Zimmerman the night of the murder. They drug tested the body. When they realized black kids commonly smoke weed, I think that's when they realized this is how you get away with killing them. The cover-up is you test them for drugs. If they got weed in their system, you say they were high, and that's why we killed them. Mike Brown was drug tested and had weed in his system, allegedly. I'm sure all the rest of these cases, they were tested, but if they didn't find weed in their system, you don't hear anything about it. But weed in the system is supposedly now an excuse for killing black kids. Please understand, my friends, of all races, according to the recent rash of events, if you have toked the joint, you have forfeited your justice in America for the next 2 weeks. How freaking ridiculous does that sound? See, weed can stay in your system. Weed in your system doesn't mean you're high. It does not mean you're high. It's not like alcohol. Alcohol in your system means you're drunk. Weed in your system does not mean you're high. It can stay in your system for weeks. It means one day over the last 2 weeks, could have been an hour ago, could have been a week ago, you puffed a joint. You took a hit. So far, this defense has not been successful in the killing of any white people that I know of. At least not in any high-profile cases. No pun intended on high-profile cases. So I'm not aware of any cases where this was successfully used in the killing of a white person. But it has become a regular defense in the high-profile killings of black men. Hurry up and test them for weed, because that's my out. We need to stop this bullshit, folks. Let's stop playing with the death of people. Let's stop playing with it. Let's stop acting like it's cool to kill people. Let's stop acting like it's okay to kill black kids. So what? Kids smoke weed. Weed is legal in 2 American states. It's so freaking undangerous. It is far less dangerous than alcohol. As far as in regards to altering a person's actions to a point where they endanger others, weed is far less dangerous than alcohol. Alcohol makes people a lot more reckless than marijuana does. Marijuana in your system should not forfeit your right to justice if a crime is committed against you. It's bullshit. It's a bullshit excuse to get away with murder, and it's wrong. And we need to stop this now. We need to stand up as American citizens, potential jurors, and make sure that we make it real clear that we are not accepting the kid had weed in his system as an excuse for murder. And that's my show, y'all. Thanks for joining me. I want to say big up to my boy Latone Hart. He hosts a show called The 730 Show. You can hear him on Spreaker.com, Stitcher.com, also on iTunes. I also want to say big up to the Nerdy Chicks, the Nerdy Black Chicks. They do a show called Just Thinking Out Loud. I always want to say Just Talking Out Loud. It's Just Thinking Out Loud. You can hear them on Stitcher.com. Also, I want to say big up to Lisa Marie, a.k.a. Miss Giggles. She does a show on Spreaker called, and Spreaker is like speaker with an R, Spreaker.com. She does a show on Spreaker called Juice Talk Radio. Great show. Big up to Murray Riley Jr. from the Stump and Shout Talk Radio show on Spreaker.com as well. You can download the Spreaker app or the Stitcher app on your phone. It's a great way to listen to podcasts. There's a lot of great podcasts out there, man. You got to check them out. I got a site that I want to, an app that I want to share with y'all. I'm going to put it up on the What Up Doe Show Facebook page. I want y'all to check this app out where he's got a list of a whole lot of black podcasts, a whole list of them, including the What Up Doe Show. I'm going to put it out on my What Up Doe Show page on Facebook. It's facebook.com/What Up Doe Show. And I want to thank each and every one of you for listening, man. Y'all have a great Thursday and make it a great one. I want y'all to have a great weekend. I don't want to say that yet because I'll see y'all tomorrow morning. I'll listen to y'all. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow morning. Anyway, peace out. Pressure Crease out. Keep the police out while I bust his niece out. Now I'm out of here like last year. Peace.
Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
What up, though?